back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Katie Stone, and this is Stone's Second Sense. Now, I'm sure most of you have probably heard all about Matthew McConaughey's ABC News exclusive, where he talks on gun control and he talks on the grants launched for school safety and stuff like that. Like what he's working for to make these schools safer. Now, I want to go ahead and play something for you and state a fact before I get too far deep. So let's just jump in on that.
I don't know how the law works, but that was a question I had. Well, wait.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the key point that I want to start off with before I go too far. He agrees he doesn't know how the law works and how the laws work around gun control. He doesn't understand. Or how the gun laws work, period. So I want to point out, and this is not me defending him, it's just me stating what I see when it comes to celebrities in general mindset. Now, they don't understand what it's like to be an American citizen who has to take care of themselves when it comes to safety. Now, they have bodyguards, they have people looking out for them, they have security. I mean, they don't have to worry about their well-being or their safety because someone else is paid to do that. So I want to point that out. And it's not me defending him. I just want to point out that they have a completely different mindset. Some of them appear to be very ignorant when it comes to what we go through as American citizens and what it actually means to need to carry a firearm every day or to feel like you need that kind of safety. Now, let's just dive into the rest of this because I think it's very important.
There's a whole lot of Americans that need you to at least meet them where they are and what they're understanding and how they've grown up on this issue with guns in their lives and how most of them do handle them responsibly. So don't cast them down as being archaic or cavemen and women. And how could you? No. Yeah. Listen to them for a minute. And when you're coming in hot, which sometimes the left does, on this issue and many others.
Sometimes, oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And is immediately saying, you idiot, you dumbass. What? How foolish. You've lost them. You've lost them. They get more defensive. All right, so come in and meet them where they are and try to hear where they're coming from first and understand that they have a viable stance, a viable position they're taking that they didn't just come up with last night.
Now, he goes on to tell a story about daisies versus traffic. You don't stop to smell the roses or to look at the daisies. You are nosy and you want to see what's going on with the wreck on the other side of the road. Now, that's what his story was. It's, hey, this is catching more attention, so we're going to pay attention to this versus this. Now, I want to dive in on the parts he hit where he's talking about the interviewer asked him how the Democrats could approach Republicans or pro-2A people on coming to common ground when it comes to gun control. Mr. McConaughey says here, he's like, hey, you got to stop patronizing. You got to stop treating them like they're stupid. You got to stop turning them off immediately and going like that. Now, I think we can all agree that none of us want to see children harmed. We don't want to see, at least if we're in our right mind, we don't want to see children getting shot in schools. We don't want to see children needing all of this extra protection at their schools because we're afraid someone's going to come harm our children while they're learning. That's not something that any of us want to see, and I think that's where he is trying to say we need to come to a common ground on that point and figure out how we're going to stop it. Is the way that we stop that by taking away guns? No. That's where I will disagree with Mr. McConaughey on this. I don't think it has anything to do with the guns itself, but we can all agree that it's not something that we want. It's not something that we want to happen. Nobody wants to see children harmed. This is also something I feel like us as Second Amendment advocates and the right, we need to also take advice from what he's saying here. You can't go in calling people stupid and telling them they're dumb for feeling or knowing a certain way. Now, like he said, we have to come in the middle and hear both sides. Now, I know it's hard because some of it sounds really, really ignorant, but you need to step back sometimes. And if we really want to solve the problems and keep the Second Amendment alive for the next generations and also save our next generations from getting shot up in schools, we need to find common ground. And I'm not saying that's gun control. Definitely not saying gun control. What I'm saying is we need to both see both sides. We need to be able to see and hear and understand what the others on each side of the fence are saying. And then we need to have a conversation without getting angry and discuss how are we going to fix these problems without sacrificing the Second Amendment and without sacrificing our children. We need to meet somewhere in the middle, and it's not on gun control. I'm not saying that at all, so don't come at me in the comments. It's not on gun control. What I'm saying is the left is pushing this, the right's pushing that, and this is where the division is. And it's not gun control versus Second Amendment. That's not what's going to save our kids anyways. Now, the left versus the right, that's a whole other story. But where he's talking about on this situation when it comes to saving our children's lives, we do need to be able to sit down, have conversations where it's, hey, what can we do to save our children and also protect our Second Amendment rights? But in order to do that, we have to stop coming at each other and telling each other that we're stupid and we're ignorant because, ladies and gentlemen, America's full of so many different diverse backgrounds and races and ages and so many different things. And we have to be able to put our prejudice or whatever you want to call it aside and be able to come together and be like, hey, we want to save our kids. How do we sit down and do this? And when someone offers gun control, you can be like, you know what? Let's table that for another time and see if we can find another way to fix this problem. And then, maybe then they will actually start seeing that, hey, gun control is not the answer because it clearly hasn't worked in many, many areas. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. No, I don't agree with everything Mr. McConaughey said, but I do feel like there are some points from his interview that we should take to heart and maybe use those next time somebody on the left is trying to take your guns and they are very ignorant and don't understand how the laws work or history or the Constitution, and maybe just sit back, take a deep breath, and just listen and try not to scream in their face. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button, please. Have a great day.